Welcome to this episode of Youth Diary. Today we have Dr. Mohammed Zabeer, who is a consultant in accident and emergency at Renai Medicity, Palarivattam. Welcome to the show, doctor. So, doctor, can you tell us something about an unresponsive status of a patient, and if you can also tell us something about the basic life support.
Okay. Like suppose if a person is seen unresponsive,
what is the next immediate step a person is supposed to take?
Okay, so if you see someone like unresponsive, the first thing what you have to do is to check for the pulse. Where exactly is over the carotid region, that exactly over the right side of the or the left side of the neck. You need to check for the pulse. If it is absent, the first thing what you have to do is start the chest compression. And chest compression, how you have to do is like, first you need to keep your heel of the hand over the chest, and with the other hand you need to interlock of this area like this, and you need to start compressing, and the force should come from the shoulder, not from the elbow. It should be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this, you need to count up to 30. After the 30, you need to give a 2 breath. This cycle has to go for 5 times, like 30 compression with 2 breaths. So this has to go for the 5 cycle. After 5 cycle, you need to check for the pulse. If the pulse is present, well, it's good, the patient has come back. If it is not there, you need to continue for the chest compression and breath. If you want to shift the patient, you should not waste time. That means like you should not stop the compression. You should keep on continuing the compression till you reach the, till you get a help, or if you're transporting the patient to the hospital. So what you have to do is like you need to continue the compression and followed by the 2 breaths. When you reach for 5 cycles, you need to stop it and check for the pulse, and during that time you should keep moving it, but this shouldn't exceed more than 10 seconds, because if you stop the compression, the chances of getting back the patient will be reduced 50%. So what you have to do is, as I told, if you see an unresponsive patient, check for the pulse. If pulse is not there, start the compression, that is 30 compression and 2 breaths for the 5 cycle, then stop, check for the pulse. If no pulse is there, continue it, and during that 10 seconds, during that period, you need to keep moving the patient, and you should not interrupt it.
So now we have our audiences asking us questions. This is the first question.
I am Jasim Bakar. I am from KME Engineering College. I stay in area where snakes are very common. So I have a doubt. What are the first aids when I see first a snake bite?
This question is regarding what is first aid, what we have to do when you see a snake bite. So when you see a snake bite, the first thing what you do, like you need to confirm that it is a snake. Whether the snake has bitten or not. And if you find out it is there, then what first thing is like you need to immobilize the area, like just like how you put a plaster. If you have a splint or something like that, you need to just keep over the leg, below the neck, just to prevent the movement. The second, something which you should not do, that I'll mention about doing it. Most of the people, what they'll try to tie it. Like applying a tourniquet. That thing is not at all practical right now. So you should not put in a tourniquet. You should not cut or suck the blood. That is not there. You should not do that. Actually, when you are getting a direct contact with the venom. So the patient who's trying to save them, even that could become a patient. So so don't do that thing. So immobilize the area. Don't put a tourniquet. If you want, you can put a construction band. Third one is don't try to cut or suck the blood out. And most of the time what happens is like the person get bitten when they try to catch the snake. So I don't advise them to get try to catch the snake. So let it be. If you got bitten, come to the hospital, like how I said, like immobilize and get him to the hospital. Rest we'll take care. And about the snake bite, we have 4 different families which is there in India. Out of that, only 2 are common, which belongs to Elapridae and Vipridae. So basically, we need to differentiate whether it is the neurotoxic or hematologic. Those parts will be done by the doctors in the hospital. So as a common man, what you have to do is like immobilize the particular male which it got bitten and get him to the hospital as soon as possible.
So that answers your question, and don't try to be heroic and do things that is normally shown in TV. I don't think that is advisable. So we'll go to the next question. This is the next question.
I'm Divya from KME Engineering College. I wanted to ask, I got bitten by a cat recently, so should I take medicine for that?
Yes, cat bites requires treatment. In fact, the studies have shown that the cats are much more dangerous than the dog bites. And even in case of the dog, it is only 1.6% to get rabies, chances of getting rabies, but in case of cat bite, it is 3.6%. So yes, that requires a treatment. Now how do we decide the treatment? It's basically there are 3 different grades. The first grade is like if this cat or the dog, if they just lick in intact skin,